Good afternoon, everybody. How's things going? It's it's been a bit busy here today. We've got a little bit of sun out, but you know, same as ever at Sanntangle Tile, loving life. So okay, what are we going to be doing today? You'll notice I've got a different tile. I've got one of the tags. Now, I know not everybody's got these, and that's absolutely fine. But if you want to sort of follow along and do something similar, you can still use a regular tile to do this, so no worries about that. But if you want to do one that's a little bit longer, you could use 2 tiny tiles, or you could use 2 regular tiles and put those together. So entirely up to you. It's not something that I'm trying to push, but it's just nice, I think, if some of you have got these, it's nice to see how we use them. So okay, without further ado then, number 275. I've got my pen pencil tortillon as always. I've got a little bit of an inked tile going on there. I've got an 08 pen. I've also got a white gel pen. I know we used one last time. I've got the an 08 gel pen as well, because I might want to do a little bit of filling in and put a highlight with white. But then I've got my chalk pencil as well, just in case. So a few bits of everything lying around. All right. So with all that done and sorted, if you've managed to grab a little piece of tape and stick 2 tiles together, if that's what you want to do and you want to tangle along, I think we'll make a start, shall we? So I'm going to leave it at this length just for now. Let's go a little bit bigger so you can sort of see the context of where I'm heading with this. I'm going to have it this way, so it's long ways, portrait, and let's see where we head, shall we? Okay. So I'm going to start with my pen. I think just before, so my watch doesn't click. I'm going to take my watch off. There you go. And here we are. Are you ready? So I'm going to start this bottom edge. Now, if you want to start on this side, you can do so. But I'm going to start this side. It's a little bit more comfortable for me. So I'm going to come on in and I'm going to create this sort of line. Then it sort of goes into a bit of a loop. And then back in, you see it comes down quite narrow. And back in, a little bit like a little paddle, isn't it? There we go. I'm just going to join that one off, just being that it's at the bottom there. Okay. So you see I've got lots of kind of space. Now again, if yours got a square tile, you know, that's the kind of thing you maybe want to do it just a little bit smaller. I'm just going to get a few in there. So, okay, I'm going to make it a bit bigger than now you can see what I've started on. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is I want to come in and create a little aura here. Here you go. And then a few more. There we go. All right, and I'm going to come in and fill those in a little bit later, but not just yet. So next little bit, I'm going to come in with a little line, see, sort of starting here, going out and over and in. And then on the next one, out and over and in. So then the next one, this sort of coming off of here, again and in. Same on this side. And in. Okay. So we're going to do the same again, but this time I want to make it a little bit, it's going a bit lower this time, see? Well, just a little bit wider. And the same on this side. Just a little bit wider. And in. Okay. So I'm going to turn it and I want to do some more of these little striped lines. You see, just working my way down to the bottom there. And then the same this side. Little lines, just sort of following that little bit of a curve. Okay, let's have a look at how that looks in the whole of the tile. Okay, so we've got this little shape here. So I'm going to bring another in. I'm going to follow on from this one here, and I'm going to come on up and bring it out as a little paddle, see, back around head back in. So you might want to take your time with that. Don't worry, see how this one's a little bit narrower there than there. That's absolutely fine. It's got a bit of life in it, doesn't it? And then as before, I want to come in and do those little auras. I'm sort of working my way down. I'm not going all the way down the stem kind of thing with those, just sort of to about there. All right. And then from about here, I'm going to come up, see? And out and down. And let's go in a little bit closer so you can see that. There we go. Oh, hi everybody. Janet and Maureen. Hi Carol. Oh, I'm glad your pastels have arrived. I've refrained from using them because I know that we're still all, some of us are still waiting for them, but they'll be with you shortly. We were hoping to get everything out today, but our courier arrived real early. So we've got everything out except I think there was about 80 parcels left. So they're all done and ready for collection tomorrow, so they'll be with you soon. Okay, so again we've done the 2C going up at a step. This time I'm going to come out a little bit lower down, a little bit wider, and in. Same on the other side, wider and in. Okay, next bit then. Gonna add those little curves. Just sort of working my way down. There you go. And then along. Just sort of coming along as we go. There you are. So we've got 2 of those. So again, at this point you might, depending on if you've got a square tile or you're going sort of longer with me, then I'm going to add another one in. You might get another one, but sort of see how you go. You could make these a little bit shorter. There we are. Okay. And then again, along and along. So I'm sort of following that original line at the top there. Just to create that little shape. And then from about here, it's about the middle really, round and down, and around and down. And then again, sort of climbing up as we go. And down, and around, and down. And the next one, sort of further down this time, and a little bit wider. Same on this side, a little bit wider. Okay. And then just bringing in these little lines. I'm not trying to match them up with the middle or anything. They're just sort of going in as they feel. Sort of the right sort of shape. There you go. Okay, so let's have a quick look at that. I think at this point I'm going to come in with a thicker pen. Just wondering actually if I've got a brush pen lying around. I do actually prefer, you know, when we're doing something a little bit filling in, I do prefer my brush, but I know that's not for everybody. I know you like your 08s. So I'm going to come in with this and fill it in. So I'm going to use the top as the starting point there. And then come on down. And that one. Now see this one, because I don't want to go all the way down the stem with it, so I'm going to add another line in just to create a thinner stripe there. You can go all the way down if you want to, but you know, I might get to the top and think maybe I should have. But my idea at the minute is I'm not going to do that. Okay. So just sort of following it around. There you go. See? And again, if you need to, you can come back in with that fine pen just to sort of knit it up if you want to. And then of course, same on here. And if you wanted to have the black one as the second one down, or you wanted to change them about, that's fine too. There's no set rules, there's no real reason why that top one's black to start with. It's whatever you want to do with it. There you go. And then one there. Okay. Oh no, Teresa, I know sometimes people do prefer the 08, and that's a real handy pen. It's really suitable. It's a great one for filling. But if I've got a choice of the two, I do usually go for the brush, but the 08's just as good and it'll fill just as much in. There we go. And this one. So again, I'm sticking with the top and adding those black lines in. And oh, that's a little bit there. I think sometimes with the 08 you've perhaps got a little bit more control with it. Whereas this one, it's almost, you know, about, it's a bit wiggly, isn't it, with having that soft brush. There you go. Don't rush this bit. Sometimes it's quite nice to just enjoy that little bit of colouring. And again, if you don't want to use black, you don't have to. You could use a different colour. Just that this gives you the drama, doesn't it? Yeah. But no, don't rush it. If you think you want to come back and fill it later, you can do that. Don't try and keep up with me. Unless you can, unless it's a challenge for the day. But I do try and keep the pace reasonable, so we can get through it in the time we've got allowed. So you can always stop and pause and things. There you go. And one more. There we are. So we've got that kind of a thing. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my regular pen now and start adding a little bit of detail in here. So we're going to go with, I'm going to come in down this bottom end to start with. I'm going to create a curve. There you go. And then from that curve, I'm going to create a few more. Maybe two here, look. One there, one going behind. Okay, so if I then bring it in a little bit more. See, I've got a little line from my brush there, it's fine. Shading will sort that. So what I want to do now is I want to bring, from the point, I'm going to bring these shapes back down real fine. See, it doesn't matter if I use that, do that middle one first, real fine. They're quite sort of prickly, see? Working my way up there. So you might find it's easier to turn it upside down. I'm going to draw another curve. Another. That one's going to peek through there. And one there. Let's have a look at this in context. You see? So then, starting from the points, bring them back in. Real narrow, as fine as you can sort of make them. You're wanting to have them quite spiky looking. It's sort of a direct contrast to the curves of those little petals there. See, might even add another one there, look. Bring it back down. There you go. So, moving on, let's bring one out here. Now, if you actually want to do all the curves first, I'm going to have another one see coming off there. maybe one. You can do that. And again, if you think it's easier to come out this way and add on those curves, whatever works for you. A bit longer with that one. There you go. You can sort of gauge then where you're heading, and then keep it real narrow and work your way back down towards the base. See? Louise, yes, it is on a tag tile. I haven't actually cut it into a tag, and you don't have to. So I'm just using it as is for now. But I did explain at the beginning, if you haven't got a tag tile, you can draw this on a square as a regular, or you can put two tiles together, whether it be two tinies or two regular. So whatever you've got to hand. See. So same sort of thing here. I'm going to sort of bring it up from here. Now don't try and think too much, or don't plan too much where these are going. Just put them where you sort of feel they would benefit. See, I've got quite a bit of space here, so I can bring it up and create a few more of these overhead. If you're working on a square tile, you might not have the space to sort of do that. So yours might look a little bit different in that respect. See, quite spiky. So then, again, back in, keeping it really thin, creating these little shapes. It's quite a challenge actually, isn't it? When you put a curve in to then try and almost sort of repeat it, but keep it really thin like this. It's a little bit different. And sometimes we do see leaves as curves, and on this occasion we're not doing that. We've swapped it about a bit. There you go. So round and follow them through, and I do find it easy to start at the point and come out rather than the other way, but again you might find it a little bit different. Oh, there you go. Actually, it's quite nice. I like how it's sort of really quite sharp. But we want to add a little bit of something on there. Oh, Pam, what size is a tile? This is, I think it's 12 by 7 centimetres. That kind of size there. Absolutely, Rose. Good practice for the stag antlers. Yes, no, things dangling off it and things. That's good. Yeah, really nice. Okay. So I'm going to start back at the bottom here. What I'm doing, actually I'll come in a little bit bigger so you can see what I'm doing. There you go. I'm going to come on in and add in a little curve with a loop on the end. And then we know we can fill these in. Okay. I think the nice thing about doing this with the loops is we can go over all of it and fill it in. I'm going to add another one in there and fill it in. There you go. So, working on the other side, that's a few more of these. Now, on this occasion, I'm going to have this going underneath. See, underneath that one and under that one. Put a loop on. So you've got the decision and the choice as to where it's going to go. There we are, you see. And I'm going to work my way up and around. I'm going to add a few more of these in. I'm going to decide whether I want them over the top or whether they're going to go underneath. Have that one over. And of course, how many you want in there. You know, you can have lots and lots of them, or just a few. You see how that sort of works. They're going in and out. Let's go out a little bit so you can then see. You see how that sort of, this blackness of these loops are starting to give it a little bit of shape there. going to put one coming down here. And I like how they sort of work around. So you can build them so you can have as many or as few as you like. Let's have one coming up and under there. There we go. Oh, Joe, when did the tag tiles come out? A couple of shows ago, I think. They came out with a stencil that you can turn them into tags, or you can just buy them as a set of tiles. They're just a nice shape, and sometimes you want something a little bit longer than a square. There you go. So it's up to you how many or as few of these as you sort of want to put in. Let's have one coming down here, changing the shape of it a little bit. It just gives it a little bit of movement there, and it allows you to sort of tell a bit more of a story as to where they are going, and filling in a couple of these little areas. Let's have one. So we've got almost twins there, so we've definitely got to have another one. Just a little one there, see? So we don't really want them to all be exactly the same. They want to have their own little individuality. And you can carry on, you could do lots of them, couldn't you? So just one under there in the background. There we go. They work lovely, don't they? I think what I'm going to do is any coming over and sort of along the stems there, we can sort of wrap them. All right, now with anything like this, of course we've got these, we need to add a couple of those zingers. So I know if Julie's watching today, I always do one for Julie. I'm just going to bring one sort of up here. If you've never done them before, absolutely love them. I'm just going to put a little bobble in there, and then a little aura around, but not all the way. And then each time we're going to do this aura, but it's going to get smaller and smaller until you're just into dots. Look at that, it's lovely, isn't it? So let's do another one. Let's bring one out here. They can sneak in all the little places. And again, you can have a few or as many as you like. Just sort of let them do their thing. Let's have a look. So that on its own, if you were to just do, here we go, that bit on its own as a square tile, that would look really pretty, wouldn't it? It's just nice to have that extra little bit going on there. See here, I'm going to bring another one over the top there, and it's going to work its way over there. And let's find a couple of more spaces. There's one sort of here. And they sort of also have a bit of a mind of their own as to which direction they're going to go in. Depends where you start to put your lines. Just do its thing. And another one there, look. Okay. And there. And one here. I think maybe, let's just have one here as well. There we go. Okay, so we've got a little bit of space here. I think what I'm going to do, just to break that space up, I'm just going to bring one in and just draw one in there. Maybe just a little of those loops either side, just so it sort of peeks in. There we go. Oh, at this point, we could put a border in, where I think I quite like it without one today. So I'm going to bring my pencil in. Here we go. And let's just bring it in a bit so we can see where I'm heading with this. There we go. So to start with, pencil, oh, look at that. Take that bit off. Both sides on the centre bits there. I'm going to bring a bit down the stem too. And then the same on these stripes here. And you see where that little black mark was? Don't need it anymore. Let's go. Same on this one, both sides. There you go. And where it comes to these little pieces here, I'm going to add some pencil just to one side, just the side where they join. And same on this one, just that side where they join. So let's move our way up and draw in this bit. So both sides, a little bit down the stem, and both sides there. And along that one. Don't worry if it's a little bit scruffy, it doesn't have to be completely neat, it's fine. It's just I want to get some pencil in. And again, if you're not so sure, you can be quite light with your pencil and go in and add another layer afterwards. So don't let it put you off and don't think, oh, I'm not sure. You can go as quick or as slow as you like with it. And it's just nice to sort of have this and go with it. I think sometimes as well, the darker you do things, the lighter some of the other areas appear, but you can build it up as you're going. There we go. And I'm going to put a bit down the stem. So looking at our little leafy shapes, there's not really much we can do because they're really fine. But if you've got some that a little bit wider at the top, you can just add a little bit of pencil in. But if you can't, don't worry about it because they're very fine. Your little zingers, we're going to add pencil to one side. Just as such. And then just sort of add in, only if you can and where you can. Just adds a little bit of interest, but honestly don't worry about it too much if you can't. Then a little bit on the zingers. Okay, you see, just add in a little bit as and where I can. They're a little bit wider at the top here than they were at the bottom. Don't know why. Maybe they got a little bit larger because they're sort of working their way up back. There you go. All right. So that's where we've sort of got onto. So I'm going to bring in my tortillon. And again, I'm going to start where I started, beginning to put the pencil in. And just in this middle bit here, I want to nice and gentle. Just swoosh it out both sides so you're left with a gap in the middle. Okay, nice distinctive highlight. And same with this one. I'll work my way around. Okay. Now something I've been thinking of doing for a while, and that's actually finding all my tiles that I did from the very beginning and taking a photograph of them as a mosaic. And I don't know where you all started from, whether it was the beginning or whether you've just come in. I think it'd be quite nice just to sort of go back and see them all, really. As if you've got them available that you can do that, why not make your own little mosaic and, you know, put all your tiles in a square or rectangular shape and take a photograph of them and post it. Let's have a look at them. I've got a source. I've definitely got number 61 onwards in a folder. But the others, I think I've got some are in frames and some are in journals. So I need to sort of have a look around and put them all together again. But I'm really excited about doing that. I think it's quite an achievement, isn't it? So if you're up for doing that at the same time and having a go, that would be lovely. And I do have a mosaic for the tile swap number 20, so I will post that shortly. I've just got to remove Leslie's feet off it. She's the one that stood on the chair and took the photo. And just while we're on tile swap 21 would have been due on Monday the 19th, but as we all know, Monday is going to be a slightly different day to any other Monday. So what we are going to do is we're moving it just for this one to Saturday at 2 o'clock, which is our usual time. And Leslie Elf's going to do it. So if you're around on Saturday for half an hour at 2 o'clock, then tune in. She's going to do it on the Sanntangle group page, so you don't have to go and find her or anything. So it'll be easy to sort of spot. Or other than that, it'll be there for obviously for a while, so you can go back and look at it anytime you like. So if you're up for doing the swap, that would be lovely. But it's going to be Saturday and not Sunday. There we go. And I'm sure Leslie's got just as calming a voice as me. But yeah, swaps are slightly different, aren't they? She'd be fantastic, I'm sure. Okay, you see, just working my way around these little shapes. Just trying to leave little bits of highlights lying around if I can. Just in areas. There we go. Then of course if I come to my little zingy shapes, I'm just touching it with the tortilla on there. I'm not trying to sort of blend it too much, just giving it a little hint here and there. Okay, so let's have a look. It's the Saturday before, Louise. It'll be the 17th. So Leslie will give you all the information as we usually do, and she'll go through a couple of the ideas with you, so you can, you know, have a go yourself. Be nice change. Lynn, I think, tins of the Bronzio pencils. I'll have a look downstairs. I have a few bits and pieces, but not many. So it depends. I'll have a look. I'll have a look in a bit. Okay, I'm coming in with my white pen. And so you can use a white chalk pencil, but I wanted this to be quite distinctive. So I'm going to come straight down. There you go, with my white pen. You see, it's quite obvious, isn't it? I know we get a slightly different feel with the chalk pencil, but this one, I wanted it to be sort of a thinner line, if that makes sense. But if you want to use the pencil, you can do that. There we go. So sort of working out just where those highlights are, you see? Just coming down and straight over the black there. So straight down the middle. I'm not messing about with lines and things. It's coming straight down. Just make sure that your pen's going to work. We know that gel pens can be notoriously a bit of a pain at times. So that's fine there. I am going to bring my white pencil in. Thank you, Tommy. Has Leslie upgraded you to making tea?
Yeah, she's just too busy at the minute.
Oh, thank you, Tommy.
It's all right.
It's that bad when the Alp's too busy to make me a cup of tea. Goodness me, what's the world coming to? Do you know what? It's because I'm given a chance to actually come online. That's what it is. Okay, white pencil. What I'm going to do, see where I've got these little spaces here? I'm going to come round and add a little bit to those top edges, and while I'm here, a little bit on the edge of that zinger, you see? See, fame goes to some people's heads, doesn't it? Oh dear. All right, see, just a little bit. Now, even if you've got a tile that's not been inked, it's still worth doing a little bit of this and adding just that little highlighting. Just, you'll know it's there, you'll notice it, and it'll just give it that little bit of a highlight. Again, just sort of a touch on these edges here of those little zingers. Okay, now you see there, it just needs a little bit more, I think, of the tortillon. Oh, Leslie. We know. Good job, we love her, isn't it? No, honestly, anything I say on these Facebooks are all meant in the nicest possible way. You want to hear us when we're downstairs packing? Wendy, no, I'm not even going to admit, I'm not even going to mention that. Who makes the best tea? On the grounds that it could incriminate me and I might have to make my own next time. So absolutely not. Okay, So last thing to do really is to sign it. I think that's all done and sorted. I mean, we could come in and add a little bit of extra in. So if you wanted to, see where we've got like the bottom of these flowers here. We could come in again with the black pen and just sort of visit or redefine those little bits at the end, you see. And again, let's just do that on all then. But again, this is just all those extra little bits and pieces that if you want to, it just makes a little bit of a difference. There you go. But you've got to look at your tile and think, does it need it? Does it want that redefining? And by only doing the bottom bit, it's just making that a little bit darker, you see? Whereas at the top, we're not going to do that so much. So, okay. Known as faffing Sue, yes it is. But you know what? It's just giving that little bit there a hint, hasn't it? Just to work it. So, all right then. I'm going to just put my name or my signature there, as per usual. And there we go. There's our tile number 270. What was it? Oh, 275. Yes, there we go. So really pretty, and it's perhaps something that you could look at doing in different colours. Maybe inking it a little bit more, a little bit. That spatter in the background would look fabulous. So yeah. Oh, Wendy, yeah, book 9. I'm glad you got that one. I packed that yesterday, I'm sure. But yeah, have a go at this in one of the practice pages at the back. And it'd be lovely to see it in a different shape. Imagine it going round an oval. But yeah, have a go at it. Say whichever tile you've got, do it on whatever. And we'll see how you get on from there. So have fun with it. And I will see you, Rose, sneaky peeks. I will see you on Friday. What day is it? Friday. Yeah, Friday. Sneaky peek. I might give you one on Friday, or I might let Leslie do one on Saturday. But yeah, anybody asking, this is tile number 275. There we go. And I actually did do it on one of the tags rather than a regular tile. But honestly, you could do it on anything you've got. So have fun, and I will see you then. I'm going to drink my tea now and not give away who made the best one. But all right. Take care, everybody. See you soon.